Ozisa Fm over there. Welcome to News Express. Factual, trusted, straight to the point.
The time is 10 o'clock. Good morning. I am Paul Nwachukwu with the news. The headlines. Ministry of Transport, Imo State, to deal with people who hide under the umbrella of students' unions to run a transport franchise scheme. All Progressives Congress cancels its National Executive Council meeting scheduled for today. Russia ceases to be a member of the Council of Europe after its invasion of Ukraine. And Confederation of African Football approves the Babayara Stadium in Kumasi to host the first leg of their 2022 World Cup playoffs between Nigeria and Ghana. Log on to www.ozisaradio.com to listen to the news live in any part of the world. You can also follow this news broadcast live on our social media handles on Facebook, Ozisa 96.1 FM, and on YouTube, Ozisa 96.1 FM TV. The Ministry of Transportation, Imo State, says its attention has been drawn to the unpleasant activities of some youths who are no longer students but hide under the umbrella of students' unions to run a transport franchise scheme in violation of the laws of the government of Imo State. According to a statement signed by the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry, Ogunsanya Bimbola, the unions under which such youths hide to perpetrate the acts include Students' Union Government, National Association of Nigerian Students, NANS, and National Association of Imo State Students, NAS. The ministry describes as regrettable the collection of money from some commercial vehicle drivers by the adult youths who register them with associations or institutions' names just to evade painting of the vehicles with the Imo State color and the compulsory biodata capturing exercise. Given the above, the Ministry of Transport wishes to state categorically that all commercial vehicles with the inscriptions of tertiary institutions or associations such as Imo State University, Alvani Kopu Federal College of Education, Federal Polytechnic Negede, Imo State Polytechnic Omagwo, National Association of Nigerian Students, NANS, and National Association of Imo State Students that pick and drop off passengers from one location to another within Owerri municipality and the state at large are bounded by law number 3 of 2007 and must paint the state color and the biodata of the driver and owner captured accordingly. It also noted that vehicles exempted from the exercise are only those that operate and shuttle strictly within and inside the university campuses. The Ministry of Transport therefore reminded the commercial drivers who had patronized such youths to know that the enforcement team would henceforth impound their vehicles, while those at the verge of making such mistake were advised to refrain from for their own good. It says the overriding reason for the exercise is to guarantee adequate security of the commuting members of the public and the operators, as well as restore total sanity in the transportation sector. Hence, no public transit vehicle is exempted. The Ebonyi State chapter of the All Progressives Congress on Wednesday described the demand for certificate of return by the People's Democratic Party from the Independent National Electoral Commission as illegal. The APC said that the demand for the certificate of return for the PDP's purported candidates was childish and a sheer act of foolishness. The Ebonyi State APC chairman, Honorable Stanley Okoro Emeha, who stated this in Abakaliki during a press briefing, also accused the PDP of being behind the crisis and insecurity in the state. Emeha also warned the PDP to desist from deceiving herself and the public, adding that the APC had appealed on the sack of Umahi and a stay of execution served on the PDP. President Muhammadu Buhari has warned Governor Rotimi Akeredolu of Ondo State, his Kaduna State counterpart, Nasheed El-Rufai, and other All Progressives Congress governors to desist from attacking their Yobe State colleague, Mai Mala Buni. Buhari also urged the governors to allow the Buni-led Caretaker Extraordinary Convention Committee to proceed with all preparations to hold the March 26th convention of the party. The president spoke in London when he met Buni and Minister of Education Adamu Adamu, who are all on medical vacation in the United Kingdom. This was contained in a statement by presidential spokesman Femi Adesina on Wednesday. The federal government says all options available to it are currently being considered before a position will be taken on the Senate's refusal to consider the request by President Muhammadu Buhari to delete Section 84, subsection 12 of the 2022 Electoral Act. The Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami, stated this on Wednesday during a briefing after the Federal Executive Council meeting.
Another option, if the government says strongly about it, it will consider the division option to be equally available and alternate. And then that option is to look at the law, to make the context and spirit of the law, to see what it can do. The government is reviewing, the government is looking, and the government will come up with a commission that they have to design.
It was reported that while signing the electoral bill into law last month, President Buhari had asked the National Assembly to delete Section 84, subsection 12, which restricts sitting cabinet members from contesting for elective offices without resigning. The president argued that Section 84, subsection 12 constitutes a disenfranchisement of 7 political office holders from voting or being voted for at conventions or congresses of any political party for the purpose of the nomination of candidates for any election in cases where it holds earlier than 30 days to the national election. However, the Senate refused to consider the president's request and threw out the bill seeking the amendment of the section, with lawmakers stressing that an amendment of Section 84, subsection 12 would be going against the civil service norms and would be injurious to the well-being of the society. The All Progressives Congress on Wednesday in Abuja cancelled its National Executive Council meeting scheduled for Thursday, March 17, 2022. The National Secretary of the party's Caretaker Extraordinary Convention Planning, Dr. John, disclosed this in a statement he signed late Wednesday titled Purported APC NEC Meeting Cancelled. Ahead of the 2023 election, the People's Democratic Party (PDP) is to commence the sale of expression of interest and nomination forms today. PDP National Publicity Secretary Honorable Debo Olugunaba could disclose this at the end of the party's National Executive Council NEC meeting on Wednesday in Abuja, said the party also approved the party's timetable and schedule of activities for the election. On zoning, he said the NEC gave express approval for the setting up of a zoning committee. Nigerians traveling to the United Kingdom will no longer be required to show evidence of COVID-19 test or proof of vaccination as a precondition for entering into the country. This advisory is contained in the Travel Abroad Guide published on the UK government website. The new rule comes into effect from tomorrow. The same rule also applies to those traveling to Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. From the foreign scene, Russia on Wednesday ceased to be a member of the Council of Europe after over a quarter of a century of membership in the Pan-European Rights Body. Moscow announced Tuesday that it was quitting the council ahead of the formal decision taken Wednesday by the body's Committee of Ministers to expel Russia over its invasion of Ukraine. In a hugely symbolic moment, the flag of Russia was lowered and removed from its staff outside the Council of Europe headquarters in Strasbourg, eastern France. The flags of the 46 remaining member states were kept flying. Russia joined the Council of Europe on February 28, 1996. On Tuesday, the Council's Parliamentary Assembly had agreed that Moscow could no longer be a member of the body, hours after Russia announced it would pull out. Meanwhile, the Russian Foreign Ministry has said it had no regret about leaving and claimed that EU and NATO member states have turned the organization into an instrument for anti-Russian policies. It is only the second time in the history of the Council that a member state has announced its exit after Greece walked out temporarily in the late 1960s. And finally, from the sports desk, the Ghana Football Association GFA has confirmed that the Confederation of African Football CAF has approved the Baba Yara Stadium in Kumasi to host the first leg of their 2022 World Cup playoffs against Nigeria. The fixture has been scheduled for tomorrow. CAF had rejected the initial choice of Cape Coast Stadium. If the Kumasi Stadium had not been given the nod, Ghana would have been forced to play the game in Benin Republic or Morocco. However, according to a statement on GFA's official website, CAF has highlighted a few improvements that must be made at the newly approved arena. If these improvements are not made in time, Ghana will be fined by CAF. The reverse fixture will be played at the MKO Abiola National Stadium in Abuja. In another development, UEFA have said that Chelsea will not be able to sell tickets for any future Champions League matches at Stamford Bridge as long as Roman Abramovich is still owner of the club. This follows the sanctions imposed on Abramovich by the European Union EU. The Blues will have to play any future home European games behind closed doors. And that was the news. On behalf of the editor, Anthony Anyanwu, and the production team, I am Paul Nwachukwu. Good morning and stay safe.